Alright, hello everybody, PhantomBot here. Welcome back to part 4 of Sorcery. In the previous part, I defeated some bandits, saved an old man, and defeated a bat before camping. And now we're here. Now we have to decide whether to climb, go right or go left. I'm gonna go to the mines, climb up the hill. The climb continues up the hill for several hours until you are not far from the top. Then the faint sound of bustling activity reaches you. Trampling feet, guttering voices, and the clanking of metal against rock. There is something ahead, hidden by the ancient trees that line these slopes. I'm gonna follow the sound because I'm going to the mine. You leave the path and continue cautiously through the woods. A short distance onwards, you hide behind a tree and survey a clearing. A number of goblins are in the clearing, working at the mouth of an open cave. They trudge in and out of the opening, carrying large bowls in their arms, piled up with glittering rocks and dull metallic nuggets. Treasure? Oh boy, watch them work, leave them be, make a break for the cave entrance. Let's watch them work. You stay hidden, getting a scene of the scale of the operation. There are at least 30 goblins inside the cave, each coming out every few minutes or so with a new pail of stones. Then there are other goblins working in the clearing with hammers, smashing the rocks into small pieces, extracting metals from inside, loading them into carts, and finally pushing the carts away down a wide track between the trees. It is quite some operation, but not without its weaknesses. There are too many goblins to create any kind of distraction, but they move away into the trees fairly often, and sometimes the cave is left unguarded. I can try to slip into. I can try to go inside the cave, try to steal from the bowls, or leave the mine, and continue the path. I'm going to try to slip into the cave. You creep closer, moving around the side of the hill, nearer to the entrance to the cave. Then, when all is quiet, you seize your chance and race across the clearing to the mouth of the cave. Into the cave. You pause a moment at the cave mouth, but no one has seen you. Following the passage cautiously, you move between the cool rock walls of the mine, passing and ignoring ladders that lead down into the clamoring heart of the mine, where 100 goblins sing as they work. Eventually, you reach a junction. I go left or go right? Alright, I can go left, which according to the map I will reach to the river side. Or I can go right to the trees. Left or right? You know what? Right is always the right way, so let's go right. You follow the passage to the right. It twists around deeper into the hillside and ends in a sealed wooden door. Try the door. You try the door, locked. Cast a spell. What spells can I use? There you go, open locks and doors. Dope. Oh no. This don't look good. You cast a spell. The door shudders as its lock turns over, and then the handle moves of its own accord. On your guard, you watch as it swings open. The room beyond is large and appears to be a storeroom of some kind. In one corner is a pile of black rocks, and more rocks are held in the bucket nearby. This flicker with a dull glistering light. Most fearsome of all is what stands in the center of the space, a mechanical apparatus, perhaps a press or stone cutter, being operated by a large and powerful ogre. Oh no. Look at that. Ew, look at that. Disgusting creature. He does not, for the moment, seem to have noticed you. Approach him and watch him work. Certain he has not noticed your sudden arrival in the room. You stay in the shadow and watch as the ogre goes about his task. He is dropping stones from the black pile into one end of the machine. and turning a heavy handle, crunching the rock. Something is coming out the other side. To see what, you have to approach him, as it's between you and the outlet of the machine. I'm going to approach the ogre. Probably a bad idea. Boldly, you step out of the doorway and into the pool of candlelight that fills the room. The ogre stops working immediately and turns to face you. Oh no. Growling incomprehensibly, like the slug he is. You will not be able to reason with him. Sure, cast stupidity. You cast a spell and wait for it to take effect. The ogre lunges, but then stops, shaking his head, looking at you and then himself with a puzzled expression. Takes a few steps forward, then back. He is thoroughly confused. Leave it to his thoughts. The poor thing will have a headache when the spell wears off. You don't want to be around when that happens. You head back to the fork in the passage. Oh, damn it. I didn't want to. I'm going back because I thought leaving him would be going around him or something, but whatever. Alright, back to where I was. Pinch something and run. I'm gonna kill it now. Does he have lesser health? This should even the odds a little. You cast a spell and wait for it to take effect. Okay, yeah, okay. This should even the odds a little. I'm going to cut him. The ogre stomps towards you, stumbling and shuffling, but still huge and fearsome. He swings his hammer, throwing it right at you. Try to seize the advantage with a deep plunge for the creature's heart. Cautious but angry, it stomps the earth with one heel, growling. I'm gonna attack again. Bam. You strike again, moving swiftly. You aim for his heart. The ogre stumbles. Okay, he stumbles, crashing to the machine. Cut again. Preparing to swing. I'm going to defend. Then I just win. Bam. There you go. Stealing your courage, you move in, aiming to trap the ogre against the cave wall. Moving efficiently, you thrust for his chest, and then you swing again, and the sword cleaves into the ogre's side. He gargles unhappily as he stomps to the floor. You breathe a sigh of relief. You are still alive. That's right. While the dying ogre leaves his last breath, you investigate the room. Search the table. You look through the heaps of rocks on the table to see if any catch your eye, but they all seem fairly ordinary. Search the corners of the room. Moving to the corners of the room, you do a careful sweep. After a few minutes, you come across something soot covered but solid. Wiping it with your tunic, you find it is a large gem, an emerald about the size of your fist. It should be good to trade around the value of 10 gold pieces. Nice. I'm gonna try the machine. Going over to the enormous machine, you try cranking the handle to see what happens, but you simply do not have strength to make it move. Following the tubes and chutes of the machine, you discover a second large gem, which you take. You search the room thoroughly now. It's time to be going before someone comes to find the ogre. You head back to the fork in the passage. The sunlight from outside is very tempting. Leave the mine and head to the left. Say to the left. The passageway continues until you reach a large stone-cut door, blocking a way forward. For a mine, this place seems well built up. Perhaps it will serve as a camp if war comes. Try the door handle. You try the door. It opens. The room beyond is dirty with soot from the mines, so it could almost be a pit filled with night itself, with crystals in the rock for stars. In the far wall, you can just make out another door leading deeper into the mine. But the middle of the room is a table, at which a large filthy goblin is sitting. He raises his head as you enter and smells the air. Perhaps he is almost blind from so long underground. You smell. What would a goblin sound like? You smell strange. You smell is strange, intruder. He challenged. You not permitted here. I choose my own way. You growl. Do you? Let me help you make your choice. The goblin rises to his feet. In his hand, he holds a large stone club. Can I cast him stupidity? Can I cast stupidity again? Let's see. Hit mines. Can zap him. Sharpen the blade. You know what? I'm going to zap him. Bam! Zap him. You cast a spell and a bolt of lightning shoots from your fingertips at the goblin. He reels backwards and hits the floor, quite dead. With the goblin defeated, there's nothing to stop you moving further onto the mine. Should I drink my blueberry potion? Or do I pray for healing? Can I pray for healing? Oh, thank goodness. Pray for healing. Alright, you cast a spell and a bolt. Okay, let's search the room first. Before you move on, you quickly scour the corners of the dark room in case there's any gold or weapons lying around. You find nothing until you search the goblin himself. He's wearing a silver key on a chain around his neck. Lift it anyway. Lift it away. Go onwards. Time to see what more this mine has to offer. Further into the mine. You open the door onto a pitch black passageway. I've been casting spells non-stop. I don't know if there's a... I guess apart from the stamina, I don't think it's I don't think there's a negative effect, right? See the future. Sus. Yeah, let's go. Sense danger. Cast a spell and begin to get a strong, worrisome feeling that danger lies ahead. A voice inside tells you to turn back. Okay, I'm getting the hell out of here then. Heed the warning and go back. Enough of the mine. Your mission lies overground, not under it. You head back down the passageway to the fog. There's nowhere else to explore. Now let's get out of there, man. I defeated a goblin, I defeated a ogre. That's it. You creep back out from the cave and avoided being noticed, leaving the mine behind you and continue along a path with tall trees either side. By a bridge. You follow a path that leads sharply downhill into a narrow valley in which a stream runs. There's no path along the bank, but there is a bridge. Inspect the ropes and planks. You test the ropes, they seem to be firm. If this is a trap, it's not one that will dump you into the stream. But you can always struggle through the vegetarian on the back and try to find a fording point. I guess the goblins built the bridge. I'm just gonna use the bridge. Moving slowly with one hand on your sword hilt, expecting the boards to give way at any moment, you inch across. The bridge holds and you reach the other bank quite safely. You now have a long walk ahead of you, along the ridge and through a light covering of trees. Oh, a very long walk actually. Oh, there's some... I don't know if you guys can hear the sound, but there's some nice river sound right there. The path climbs up a low hill covered over with thick bushes and scrubs that sag at your clothing. Halfway up, you hear sound, twigs breaking. If I hear any sound behind me, I'm gonna just continue to keep walking. You keep striding forward when suddenly a large creature the size of a bear emerged directly in front of you. It has black and white fur and a long bushy tail that trails out behind. It growls menacingly. What the hell is that thing? Try to itch around it. Perhaps if you're careful you can slip around it. On the right, I mean, look in the picture. If I go to the right, there seems to be like grass and shit. So I'm going to go to the right, and right is always the right way. You try to slip towards the bushes, but clearly something about you or what you carry attracts the beast's attention. As it sniffs the air and then moves towards you, its sharp teeth on display. You will not be able to avoid a confrontation. The creature is a skunk bear, and when it raises its tail, it releases a nauseating odor. The smell that hangs around. It's terrible. Okay. I don't know if I should cast Law or should I just fight him. I'm just gonna cast Law. I got 4 HP. Ooh. You cast the spell and hold your hands in the air. You command the creature to stay where it is. It is not happy and bellows and snarls at you. But it does not move, and you're able to step easily around it. The path leads down through another valley and back up another hill. 2-hour pass. Ooh, reaching to town. There's no way I'm gonna pronounce this place. Kristatani. The sun is now just past its zenith. Did I pronounce that? And everywhere, a dusty heat rises from the baked earth. You are worn out, almost to the point of physical collapse. You need food and rest, and no more trouble. Today has been too punishing already. You begin to think about where you will stay for the night. On a night sleeping out in the open world would be best avoided. But then you see a small village set into the hill. Look at it. Smoke rises from the shacks. Smoke rises from the stacks. The houses are well set, with stones at their bases and thatched roofs of grasses and thick leaves. There is, unusually, more than just one street running. More than just one street. There is unusually more than just one street running through the center of town. But it is as though this place, once rich, has had his hut scooped away. Litter surround the buildings, and on the edge of the village, there are and on the edge of the village are rows and rows of empty, abandoned houses. Continue your slow trudge along the path. I can either go to town or avoid the village. Okay, let's do this final event. I think I'm gonna end it here. So let's go and enter the village. I'm curious. You walk into the village. Young hill dwellers pass you and stand. You walk into the village. Young hill dwellers pass you and stare at your strange clothes. Look at the people. Their own attire is rough by comparison to your gear. They wear their hair long but pile up on their heads. These people are ghastly poor. The village is like a ghost town, here on the knife edge of the Bucklands. I can talk in an alehouse or rest at an inn. I'm going to rest at the inn. I think that's the most important right now. The village is small enough that you find an inn simply by walking around. The woman who runs the place stands at the doorway with her arms folded. "Are you from the king?" she demands. No, I'm a mere traveler. No, I'm a mere traveler. The woman narrows her eyes at you. "This is a guest house, the best in Crisitani. Only guest stays, and my guests are mine. And any guest of mine knows it costs me 3 gold pieces to host a man overnight, and 2 to feed him. But it's all between friends." I think I'll take a room. I do have rations, so I'll just take a room. I'll take a room. The woman shows you the way upstairs to a room. There are 3 other guests already staying and asleep, so you settle quickly. The bed is not clean, but it is comfortable, and after the long day and all its narrow escapes, you are grateful beyond measure for the rest. These are my provisions. There you go. Before you close your eyes, you quickly eat a quantity of your cheese and bread. You feel better for it, and it will help you sleep. Your dreams are vivid once again. You are walking endlessly, the hills moving up and down under your feet like a rippling sea. Every step exhausts you, but no step moves you forwards. Meanwhile, a tall black creature strides towards you, wreathed in a foul-smelling smoke. And in the distance, a deep voice is booming with laughter. The long, cruel fingers of one hand are curled around the metal frame of the clown of a crown, and with the other he beckons you forward, as if into a trap. Oh no. Alright, I think this is a good time to stop right here. Did quite a lot of stuff today. So the next part, we're going to go somewhere, leave the town and travel somewhere else. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. See you guys in the next video. Goodbye.